Here we are at the Ecolodge, and Elaine and Dave, who've been coming here for years, on and off. Some of our guests who we've known for a long time, we tend to get involved in little projects, and Elaine said, do you fancy having a go at making a spinning wheel with a bicycle wheel? So last year we went, yeah, okay, let's give it a go. And there's the spinning wheel. It's a bit agricultural, but that's besides the point. It just goes to show that if you want to, you can make one. Bicycle wheel, few bits of wood, screws, bolts, bits of steel, make it up as you go along. We'll have a look at it going shortly.
These are two spindles I've already spun. One with Jacob and this one's mule. Now onto a third spindle. I'm plying the wool, and as it's two colours you can see it fairly clearly, I thought. Stop. One hook, loop, opposite, treadle, make a loop, pop it over, and pull it tight. Always ply in the opposite direction to the way you've spun it.
Why do you do that?
So one spiral works against the other one, so it sort of locks it in together. So we did some minor changes to the spinning wheel this time. I had to work on that little crank there, because previously we'd had bolts with washers through the spokes, a long bit of thready bar with nuts and washers, which started off alright, but then it just started to go at angles and squeak and not work very well. So we've modified the design, and it sort of works. It wants bedding in now. It wants a good thrashing.
If I spin faster, if I treadle faster, it puts so much spin on the wall. I haven't got long enough arms to let the spin go down the wall.
Yeah, I could see the on that piece there.
Yeah. It just goes
the
tighter
intensity
and tighter.
varies.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's to do with the thickness of the yarn, but also how much twist we put on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it works, and that spindle there, or the thing that you've got the wool on, that just pokes in the end of that bobbin. Yeah.
It's a steel double-ended knitting needle. There's a hole.
Just drilled a hole in the end and
in.
poked it in.
Yeah.
What could be more simple? So all we did was we had to change the end of the crank there to improve it, and then the legs were starting to come loose on this top board because they're only just notched in with a couple of screws, so I put some struts on there like that, and that just strengthens it up. It's alright. Carry on.
Yeah, the spinning action is based on the medieval walking wheel or great wheel, except we've got a treadle, so I don't have to push the wheel with my hand other than to get it started.
There we go. It's the way it goes.
When I finish this dark, and I've got a free spindle, we can go spinning some wool as well.
That'd be grand. So that's just a bobbin, and the shafts are turned all part in one, and then just a couple of holes drilled in this 2x1, and it's just on a block with a bolt through, and you can tighten it up, and of course moving that whole thing adjusts the tension on this drive string. This dog is fixated on the lines in these boards. There we go. Ted, you nutter.
Yeah, this afternoon he has laid down.
Yeah.
He's been quiet. He's been relaxed. He hasn't really looked at me even.
So what we've got on here is we've just got the bicycle wheel and that crank on the end, which is now welded on. The other end of the bicycle spindle is just in that big lump of steel, which is something like 50 by 6, screwed onto that leg, and that leg goes all the way down to the floor. And then we've got this quite wide piece of board, which is probably 10 inches wide, with another leg at the back, and that leg has got 2 struts on it. And then the other side there, you just see the top of that leg, and those 2 front legs hold the treadle. And the treadle's quite simple, in so much as it's a bit of square, spoke shaped down to roundish, and then 2 bits of ply with holes in it. And then that piece of board where Elaine's foot is just screwed on up with whatever angle you feel like, and then we have an extension there to take the crank rod up to the crank. So it's just, dare I say it, it's just knitting. In the grease?
Yeah, there's an elastic band just on the end of the steel pin to stop a wool sliding off the end.
Yeah, I'm just going to come round and see it from the other angle.
Yeah. Make a loop, get over, let. So now the wheel's going clockwise. Letting this twist go up the yarn, otherwise it puts so much twist on. You can see it twists back on itself. That's what it'll look like as a piece of yarn,
because that's double twisted, right? Yes. So now you turn the wheel the other way to wind it on.
Yeah.
And away we go again.
And this made spinning at least 50% faster than using a drop spindle.
Mm.
And it got me used to treadling.
What are you doing, Ted? Are you sneaking up on those boards again? You can hear those pine cones snapping open.
Can you?
Hear that tick tick tick? Yeah. That's the pine cones opening in the sun. Except you can hear somebody's mower now. I can hear it from here.
Sounds like birds.
Chick, chick. It's pine cones opening. Sometimes you'll see the seed just fluttering down.
Yeah, I have
This
seen.
time of the year. Yeah, there's one.
Oh yeah, good.
Yeah. Behind the rumble of local mowers.
Spinning wheels. Rumbly spinning wheels.
It works. I quite enjoyed making this actually, because it was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Bright yellow butterfly.
Oh, I'm glad I asked you now.
He's guarding those lines.
You silly dog.